Hello and welcome to the Explorers of Elsewhere, Tales from Elsewhere Sanctuary. You come and join us on the very first episode. Hooray!
Yay!
My name is Nate. I am the GM for this adventure, and I will introduce you to everyone as well. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. Very glad to have you here. If this is the very first episode that you're watching, you might want to go back to session 0 first to get an idea of all the characters and how they have come into this situation where we find them today. But if you've already seen that episode, hello, thank you for coming back. We will say hello to Livy.
Hello.
Theo.
Hello.
Georgia.
Hello.
Julia.
Hi.
And Dan.
Hello.
So, if you, as I said, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to watching this episode, I recommend you going back to session 1 to get some background information of what's happening. But if you've come back to us and you like this episode, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to us, why not subscribe to us? We also have a members channel here on YouTube. If you click on that members, you can probably get to see episode 2 right over on there. It should have uploaded today.
Oh, you can watch it before this one. Great.
Yeah, if you want to be really confused.
Time travel.
Time travel. We also have a Discord where you can join in with all of us, have a chat about things that are going on, and also find out about other stuff that's happening on the channel while Sanctuary's running at the same time. Cool. Well, with no further ado, shall we run the intro? Yeah.
Hello, I'm Julia, and I play Lucretia, a Lorivar wizard.
Hi, my name is Theo, and I'll be playing Pally, a Wolfkin Seraph.
Hi, I'm Georgia, and I'll be playing Virgil, a Sangravar ranger.
Hi, my name is DM Dan, and I'm playing Mirden, a Wolfkin Guardian Druid.
Hi, I'm Livy, and I'll be playing Bo, the Dragon Scent Warrior.
And my name is Nate, and I'll be the GM for this adventure. So, from where we left the 5 of you, well, specifically where we left Virgil. Virgil, you're standing outside sort of in the town square of Foulstrum. You have been asked by your friend Mabella, the Terran Sprite, to come at urgent need of the mayor who you know is Mayor Braven. You haven't heard much news of what it's about, but you do know it's of high importance, and that it's such high importance that even explorers have been asked from Avamore to help out. As you're standing there and you see the portal sort of whirl and flux into activity, and 4 figures sort of jut out of this portal. Who would we say is the first one to walk out of this portal?
I feel like it'd be Mirden.
Mirden?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, Virgil, as you're watching this portal come to life, this rather large, hulking wolfkin man, dark-skinned wolfkin man, quite a presence as he comes in with like these stone, where you can probably tell are actually these stone runes that are sort of hovering above his head. He sort of strides out of this portal and takes in his surroundings. Myrden, what do you make of the town of Foulstrum?
So I feel like it's been a while since I've been here. Let's say like a year or so. Has it changed?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
In which case, I think there's sort of like almost a satisfied little grunt at this town that is as Mirden remembers it. And he remembers it as being like this kind of quiet little quaint little town that's, that's just kind of happy just being existing on its own, kind of doing its own thing, which is also something that Mirden appreciates on a soul level.
I guess one of the things that you probably recognise more is the fact that it does seem a lot busier. It now seems like people have now moved here to sort of settle down for a quiet life in this town. So it does seem like a little bit more busy, and it seems almost like a little bit more like normality, like people are just going about their business. There's no like extra buildings being built up. There's no there's no sort of sights of any other explorers or even any mages sort of walking around, sort of making preparations for safety and guarding in case sort of another eschaton sort of happens. It seems that definitely the town has sort of settled in this quite tranquil safety that it seems to emanate. Who would be walking through the portal next? Lucretia?
Yeah, possibly. I was thinking either Lucretia or Pally, possibly.
Yeah.
After that.
I feel like Bo is definitely last.
Yeah, but
It's that vibe.
I'm happy to come through next.
So Lucretia, as you sort of pop your head through and sort of like steadily lift up your robes to sort of pull yourself out of the portal, what's your sort of feelings of the town of Foulstrum?
I think she probably finds it fairly charming in a way. I think she's already noticing sort of the bookshop across the square that she wants to go and check out. She sort of nods and says, yes, it's rather nice. Yes. She says she just sort of finds it quite pretty and for what it is. I think she quite likes it.
And as you said, you think Pally would be the next one through.
It would do, yeah.
Yeah.
Pally. Yeah, go on.
Go ahead. What is Pally's sort of first of reactions to seeing Foulstrum?
Well, I think for Pally, I think he doesn't spend a lot of time in big cities. I think Avonmore was the first big city he'd ever been to, so he only really has Avonmore to compare. I feel it's spent a lot of time on the road, so in more kind of smaller places and villages before. So depending on if as Foulstrum looks as a town, he will probably be a bit contenter that it's smaller. I think you can get lost in a big city and feel very much part of lost and unimportant in a big city, where in his life it's always been about being part of a community and a family in very small ways, and then so until war stuff, and even then you're part of a company which is quite small and intimate in Pally's mind. So I think he's happy to see it's a smaller town. He's like, oh, okay, he feels like he can see where the exits are, he can see where people congregate, that sort of thing, which is I think appealing to him.
Cool. And last but not least, sort of creeping through behind the rest of them.
Nosferatu style. What are we doing?
Maybe being sort of a little bit more vigilant, a little bit more definitely sort of taking in his surroundings on a much more sort of vigilant level. What does Bo make of the surroundings?
Bo is quietly pleased. It's a small town, or reasonably small town. It looks quite quaint, which means there's probably some busybodies, which means everyone knows everyone, and then hoping that a different person that might have arrived, that may not normally be there, might stick out like a bit of a sore thumb. So he's hoping that this can he's just kind of like, oh, easy work. They'll recognise, the guy down the pub will definitely know something about someone. So, quietly contented. And just on the lookout, just having a little look around, but not in an obvious way. He's a cool and collected character. He's just kind of having a little like, okay.
So as the four of you stand there, taking in your surroundings, Virgil, both you and Mabella are sort of walk up. It's mostly Mabella who goes up to sort of greet them. She knows that these explorers are coming to help with whatever's happening. But Virgil, as you scan your eyes over these newcomers, there's one face that almost kind of takes your breath away. As almost
Yep, it's Bo.
Rose petals.
Cherry blossom.
yeah, anime sparkles in the background. It's the ship that I'm gonna make.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's one face that you can see that is almost like a shock from the past. A face that you didn't believe that you would ever see again. And considering that how much time has passed as well, that how does this person still look the way that you remember? And you get that feeling as you look at Pally.
I think so. He's brought his soup with him.
Yes.
He's got a little wooden bowl that he's carved himself and a little wooden spoon, and he's been hurriedly eating it as everyone comes through the portal. And then as Pally steps through, he almost drops his little bowl. I think it does. Is it enough details that in the right light he can tell that this isn't the person that he remembers?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so he look. You can see the look of shock that passes over his face, and then he quickly tries to recollect himself. He said, "Oh, stop being silly, Brother Talents." That's what he said.
Brother Talents just sort of looks at you and goes, completely confused about what you are talking about.
Finish your soup.
Your bird soup.
Birds even eat soup.
He does
Brother
now.
Talents.
Yes.
He does, yeah.
So going back to the four of you, you see this small Terran sprite sort of run up to you, and she's just like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that you're here already. My goodness, news must have got to you fast. Hello, my name is Marabella. I know that you're coming. Please come with me. I will take you to the mayor's assistant, and she'll be able to guide you on what's been happening here. And she sort of just beckons a hand and asks you to follow after her. And she also eyes you, Virgil, and goes like, oh yes, come on Virgil, please. As she takes you over to the city hall. Is there anything that any of you would like to discuss before we get to City Hall?
I will sort of like smile quite broadly, I think, at Virgil, and sort of like hands out, Virgil, my good friend. It's been some time. It looks like you have still you are still evading the grave.
I do like to get out and about occasionally. Would you like some soup?
I take a look at it. It's not a particularly discerning eye, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how does the soup look?
Rooty.
Rooty.
And some vegetables. Maybe you see a carrot in there. It's a welcome sight.
Mirrodin lifts a hand and later, perhaps. Let us hear what this sprite and this mayor's assistant has to tell.
Yes, I wasn't expecting you to come through the portal. Well, any of you really are quite an eclectic bunch, aren't you? And as he sort of scans the group, his eyes do linger just a moment on Pally and then just away hurriedly.
Pally has no brain cell. He does not realise.
I think
Not that
Lucretia.
kind of brain cell.
I think Lucretia would probably sort of lean in to whisper to Pally as they walk along, just not so loud that Virgil could hear, and say, "He seemed a little bit surprised to see you. Do you know him?"
No, I've never been here before. But I will say hello, obviously, when we have a moment. I feel like they're like walking and talking and hurrying. I imagine the sprite is quite quick and they're like trying to keep up.
Cool. So as the five of you reach and Marbella turn up to the town hall, she opens the sort of grandyish jaws of it and walks in where there seems to be a bit of a hubbub. People are sort of are doing sort of like day-to-day works, but it's almost seeming like everyone's like on edge, like everyone's sort of like a little bit like unsure, like everyone knows something but is unsure what to say to each other. Mabella sort of takes the five of you upstairs, the six of you, including Brother Talons, takes you upstairs to this office, and she sort of rapidly sort of taps on the door and opens it, and she's just like, Travella, they're here. And she opens the door to you, and you, as she beckons you in to come into this office. At the desk is this Asavar woman who is hurriedly sort of writing bits and pieces down onto some ledgers, and she's just like, oh my goodness, thank the gods, you're here. Yes, please take a seat, and I'll explain everything. And I mean, she says take a seat. There's only like 2 seats that are sort of there. Who's having to sit down?
Lucretia will stand.
Pally will stand.
Come on, the old men need a seat.
The old man needs to sit down.
Mirrodin stoically adopts a power stance with hands clenched at waist.
Bo just kind of looks toward us like, well, beggars can't be choosers. And he just sits
Legs swinging.
Yeah.
I think Virgil very cheerfully sits himself down on the seat, and Brother Talons sits on the back of the chair.
Nice. Travella sort of... was that the name I gave her? Travella?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's all right. You're good.
So Travella, she sort of just writes another sort of bit down in her ledger, and then she closes it, and she's you can see that she's stressed, that there's obviously a lot a lot of extra work that has landed on her plate, because you can see sort of like these big pile of scrolls and paper that sort of like developed onto her desk. And she's like, oh, okay. Mabella, how much have you told them so far? And Mabella sort of looks up and she says, I haven't said anything. These explorers, they've only just arrived, and Brother Virgil here, he only knows what's been going on in the town have been saying. And Travella sort of nods. And she goes, okay, well, I know this is going to sound strange, and I'm glad that the four of you, the five of you, Virgil, you as well. I'm sorry to bring you on in this in such a strange situation, but it's awfully dire that we need someone of your knowledge anyway, and of your past of healing. You see, we have been encountering some strange entities at the East Valley side of the woods, the East Valley Forest. They've only just appeared over the last month, and we are not sure if they are some sort of remnants from the Eschaton. We've never had any encounters like this before. They are not mere creatures of that woods. A couple of our guards went out there to check, and unfortunately they never returned. We sent out a few more. We sent out a bigger brigade of guards, and Mayor Bravin also went out there as well. And let's just say that, well, it's probably better if you see for yourself. And she says, if you don't mind, I'll please come with me. The healing bays are just next door, and I can show you what I mean. And as she sort of stands up and sort of guides you to the door, she leads you out of the door and out of City Hall, and literally just next door, where there seems to be some sort of healing center, some hospital, and sort of guide you in. It definitely seems like the citizens, and especially like the employees of this sort of like healing hospital. I don't know, sort of like a fantasy name for it. It's a fantasy hospital. It definitely looks like the sort of staff that are around there. Sorry, Julia.
Infirmary might be.
Infirmary. Let's go with that. It seems to definitely be like a mixture of like clerics and sort of healers, sort of dotted around, and including just sort of like some normal average day-to-day folk, but it definitely looks like that everyone is aware of the mayor's assistant, and they sort of like welcome her in, and with her being there, they can kind of tell where she's going, and they sort of just say like, oh yes, like she's been doing this now for a couple of days, like she's been coming in and out of this infirmary for a couple of days, and she leads the six of you to this large ward, and as the six of you enter, you notice, not so much notice, how about this? Could all of you give me an insight check? Let's get some dice rolling.
Oh,
Reaction?
gosh.
Yes,
Reaction roll?
check. Yeah. No, not a reaction roll, just a plain insight check. So, Lucretia, you got a 10.
All of the dice.
All the dice.
I hope
Cool.
so.
Did do it with a hope. So yeah, probably. It seems almost like everyone here is fairly like they've walked into this world. They've just kind of gone like, oh, this is this must be, sort of people taking injury. There's something nasty out there. So while there's no sort of like sinking sort of feeling of what like this could possibly be something else, the four of you don't seem to take any worry about it. It's just like, this is just a day-to-day job. Pally, you feel something different about walking into this room. You can it may even be sort of like the wolfkin part of you that can smell something not there, but like something missing, like something's not like part of these people are like gone, like it's just disappeared. And Pally, you may very well be then someone who's at like the front of the queue when you sort of walk into this room, which means that you get this better insight as you walk in, and there's probably about sort of like 16 people in this very large ward, and all of them look gaunt, like their faces are sullen, like you can see like bones sort of jutting out. Their faces are like a dull grey, and their eyes are not sort of fully sort of like looking at anything. They just seem to be sort of just like, they're either closed with them sleeping, or they're just sort of like these almost like their irises almost sort of like blend into the grey of the rest of their eyes as they sort of just look up at the ceiling, and there's like a couple of them sort of murmuring nonsense to themselves. And you definitely, out of everyone, can tell why Travella is quite panicked to show you this.
Okay. I think. Go on, if you wanted to say anything.
No, you go for it.
I feel like Pally, like the first, like, I guess like the first person that he notices and like really pays attention to, as you say, because something seems missing, he's trying to figure out what, so he's kind of frowning with like concern as he looks at all these people. Like he's been on a battlefield, he knows what wounds and injury look like. He knows what also it looks like to be destitute and in despair, and soldiers shocked, and so he's seen that, particularly in the eschaton. He feels like he's seen versions of this potentially before, but not in the same way. Like he can't work out if this is brought on by something or if this is a result of something else. So it's very intriguing but very unsettling, I think.
Yeah, I think Pally, someone like you, and maybe even Myrden and Bo as well, as three people who were in the war, and actually to a level Virgil as well, you've seen soldiers that have come back from the war, like, and you can tell that all of these people here, like, there's no children, there doesn't seem to be anyone under the age of like 20, 19 sort of age, and no one that's sort of elderly. Probably the oldest person there is probably 50s or so. So you can definitely tell that these are, these people have been soldiers, these are fighters. But yeah, the fact that you see them in such like obviously massively wounded, but in a different way, almost just like something has been like sucked out of them.
Is there a way to ascertain if it feels like it's like their very essence is gone? Like, I'm just like, I think Paddy's trying to work out in his head, like, because if they're still moving but breathing but like stiff, I guess he's curious if it's something.
Yeah, move
soul,
me.
like,
make me an instinct roll on that.
okay. I have no experiences for this. I'm just going to do a straight roll and see if see what happens.
Okay. With a 13, you can't quite. You're really sort of scrunching your head and you're scrunching your eyes and really trying to sort of figure out what could possibly be. You kind of feel like it's their essence, but actually putting like a finger on it is you're struggling with, and it may very well be because it's not your expertise. What is sort of like what has happened to them.
Is there clearly like a matron or sort of like a leader of this troop of like healers and like divine wielders?
Yes. So there you do see that there is a Majani woman who seems to be head of these healers, and she is she's just got like a clipboard with her, and she's just going round from each bed and sort of making notes on each of them, or maybe even sort of taking sort of hourly notes on their conditions.
In which case I'll just kind of like semi-bellow across the room to this Majani. What has happened to them?
She kind of turns round to you unexpectedly, and then she almost kind of gives a small sneer and is about to bark at you, like, who are you? Who are you to ask me this? But then she notices you with the assistant mayor, and she sort of straightens herself up, and she says, well, that's what we're trying to find out. They came back from the East Valley forests, and barely alive, I might say. And we're trying to find out why they've come back like this. It's almost like, and she wanders over to the lot of you, and she says, I've seen things like this. I was in the war. I worked as a healer during the war. It's almost like their mana has been just completely drained from their systems. And the body is unable to retain it again. I've been trying to do what I can, but no level of healing that I can do seems to be working.
Feel like
And they've-
Pally would. Sorry.
And they've been this way since you found them, since they returned.
Since they returned, yes.
Do they say anything?
Nothing more than mumbles. We've not been able to get a coherent word out of them for days.
Does Lucretia, to look at her, does her appearance say wizard?
I imagine so.
Got a name tag.
Okay, so picture this.
Hello, I am wizard.
She's got long robes on. These are her glasses. And she's got a book with her. So yes, I would say she probably does scream wizard to look at her. Yes.
In which case, there's a slow sort of like head turn from Mirrodin to Lucretia, and quite gruffly he, you, wizard, what do your books tell you, what do your books tell you that allows the arcane to leave the body?
All right, Mirrodin. First of all, we've met. My name's Lucretia. Second of all, Nate, what would Lucretia roll to figure this out from a mana perspective?
From a mana perspective, well, I think more from like if you've ever seen anything or read anything about this, it may very well be a knowledge roll. So give me a knowledge
For sure.
roll.
I'm an academic savant, so from my academic knowledge of magic and how magic pertains to the body and the soul and all that stuff, could I roll that with my experience?
Yeah, if you spend a hope to spend that experience.
I have to spend a hope, right?
Yes.
Lovely. You know what? We're just going to roll it regular.
Yeah,
That's
roll it
fine.
regular.
Don't need the extra experience this time. Let's see. Did I just roll that?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
17.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
17 with fear.
Oops. Yeah. Okay. Why not?
Lucretia, with a 17 with fear, you can probably recall notes on bodies that, you know, where the mana has been drained from bodies. There hasn't been like a hell of a lot of study on it, generally because of the rather cruel way and rather sort of unknown way of how you would drain like a person of elsewhere, how you would drain them of their mana.
You're not getting it through the ethics board, are you?
And there's also definitely been so having arcane sort of drained from you, the very sort of vague notes that you know about it is kind of the same what you're seeing at the moment. But there was definitely some notes about how to return it, but it would require sort of a much more powerful amount of arcane to bring it back. Nothing. You don't know anything about sort of like divine magic being sucked out of a person. That would mean no dragons. If divine magic wasn't, divine magic is given from the dragons, and it's not like you're not drained of it. So there's no sort of words on that. And because primal magic is still fairly new as a new concept because of the world spirits and such, you definitely don't have anything around those lines. So this definitely looks like what you remember from your books, but you can't sort of recall anything that would help heal these people, not without going back to Avamore and scouring through more books.
Well, to be honest, I've read about something like this before, but I would have to do some serious research back in my tower to even begin to figure out how to reverse this effect. It's dire. This is a powerful effect that has been inflicted upon these poor people.
There's a slightly held look, and then and then I turn back to look at these withered folk.
How many people are withered? How many withered? How many withered are among us?
You count about 16.
About 16. Are they in beds in rows?
Yeah,
Kind
they're
of
in
like a
beds
road
and
of
sort
them.
of. Yeah.
Okay. Bo is going to just walk down the middle corridor of these, like the middle hall, like just along. He's like, well, this is a sorry sight. As he's looking around, are there any Majani men?
As you're looking,
Well,
you're sort of
I'm
like
just these sorry fools. He's just looking,
As
just
you-
checking under covers. Oh my god. How
you're
terrible.
going up to them, going like snoot to face at all of them.
I have never seen something so sorry in my life. No, this one's fine. Watch this one.
I mean, there are a couple of Majani there, and even with their sort of withered, gaunt looks, you can tell that none of them look like the Majani that you're looking for.
Got this wanted poster. Is that the... Nope. Nope.
Do you have to scrumple the wanted poster up to make them look more like the...
More withered.
No, he's taking something down. He's just kind of like looking, looking as if he's looking at everyone, but really he's just clocking faces. No worries. That's all I wanted to know.
Mabella, who's come along with you, who obviously is in with what's happening at the moment, she comes along and she tugs on your robes, Virgil, and she sort of beckons you over to one of the beds, where you notice this wolfkin man who you know as Mayor Bravin, and he looks. He's usually this very large, bombastic man, a real sort of ray of sunshine in the town, very well liked, and seems to do whatever he can to keep the town operational and going. So it doesn't surprise you that he also went out with these guards to see what was happening. But now looking at him, sort of like that once sort of like round chubby face is now like jutting with his cheekbones. Sort of like the frame and his breathing is haggard as he's trying to sort of like keep some sort of rhythm.
Oh, the poor fellow.
And Mabella sort of looks at you and says, like, I know that the healers have tried, but is there anything you can possibly do?
I will certainly try. And he'll sort of shuffle Brother Talon's off of his head. This is a serious moment. And
I think Lucretia steps up and volunteers to take Brother Talon's because she loves him. She invites Brother Talon's to come and settle on her if he would.
and any excuse for a perch, I think.
Nice. Okay.
And Virgil will cast Healing Field. He'll kneel down next to the mayor's bed and he'll place a hand on his head. And he'll try at least to cast Healing Field, which is the biggest healing spell he knows.
The biggest healing spell.
The biggest healing spell.
What does Healing Field look like to Virgil?
So he channels. He puts a prayer up to Golden, his god, and everything around them, anything that sort of anything made from something that comes from the forest will start to sprout to life. Moss will start to grow on the bedposts, sort of vines will start to weave up the walls, plants and flowers, sort of daisies and wildflowers and things will burst from the floorboards beneath every bed. And I think I just see it's quite a large area, I think. Oh, it's within close range. Anything within close range is healed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's probably going to be... That will be sort of like Bravin and maybe a couple of the other beds that's in the area.
Just throw them in as well. Just
yeah. yeah, as this sort of like this moss starts to gather around sort of like the bottoms of the bedposts, the wood from the floor will start to shake and then sort of almost grow like small sprouts and branches, as if the wood is coming back to life as a tree. The flowers that visitors and family and friends have left on the side sort of grow and bloom extra large, and they sort of center them. They try and center themselves around this field that you're making around Braven's bed. And as you sort of channeling this magic of Gagolden, and really focus hard on maybe even just sort of like the rhythmic breathing of Braven again, to get him sort of like, to get him settled. You can see that his eyes sort of just like flicker open. He doesn't look any better, but there's almost like more consciousness to him as you can hear him sort of mutter sort of something more coherently, and he's just saying, the swords, the children, the swords.
What's that old thing?
And you can, his eyes sort of open, and he turns his face to you, Virgil, and he goes, Virgil.
I'm here.
They listen for the swords. Listen. The swords, listen for them. Find them. And his breathing goes back to a much more comfortable, as well as the other two guards that are sitting in the other beds. Their breathing sorts to sort of mellow out and go to a lot more of a sort of comfortable rhythm. As it's obvious that this took quite, just opening his eyes and looking at you took quite a lot out of him. But he seems to be in a much more stable condition as what you saw him beforehand. And this Bajani matron comes over, and she breathes a sigh of relief, and she's just like, well, at least we know that they're not far from saving. At least we know that they can hopefully make progression with time. Thank you. Whatever you did, thank you.
Gagolden provides. I fear that is the best I can do.
Excuse me. Can I ask a question, please? I just wanted to ask, you mentioned that they were injured when they arrived. Did they have the same injury? Like, or were they varied injuries? I'm just curious about. He said the swords, maybe it links to what happened to them.
The mayor's assistant, Travella, sort of looks at you, and she says, well, we found them like this. No other injuries, no battle scars, no, nothing to say that swords were involved. Definitely no sort of weapons whatsoever. We just found them collapsed on the outskirts of the town. We don't know who left them there. We do know that a couple of the soldiers have gone missing, a couple of the soldiers that went out there, but aside from that, we don't know. I think we're worried. That's why we've asked you to come today. We're worried for the safety of those remaining soldiers, that those who didn't return, and we need much more. Like, our guards are brilliant, but they're not explorers, they're not warriors, they're not fighters, they're not healers, they're not knowledgeable in the arcane. We need someone with a lot more experience to help us with this, and I understand that seeing this may not put you full with a lot of hope, but we are in desperate need, and whatever we can pay to return those soldiers so that they can get the healing that they probably most urgently require, we'll do anything, really.
Of course. Thank you. That's very helpful information, just so we know.
Tell me, and Lucretia turns to the matron, have any of them died?
Matron says, thank the gods, no, none of them have died.
Oh, shame. I don't mean shame. No, it's just, no, never mind. I can, no, they're not making a lot of sense is all, and I can, sometimes when the magic is just right, I can speak to the dead. So, good thing none of them are dead. Yes, that's the correct thing to say.
No, the soldiers that we have found dead have now been buried, and
very well
lie at rest now. But with this group, no, they all returned like this. Well, besides from obviously the guards who haven't returned.
Very well. Maybe later. Yes.
Well, I really hope not.
If any of them die, we'll come back later.
It's all right. If any of them die, let us know, and I will speak to them.
But this is conversation like, oh, this is an interesting woman. So, have any of them got worse since are they declining, or have they got worse since they've arrived? They've got better since they've arrived. They're no different when they arrived.
I mean, what Brother Virgil has done here has obviously been the only thing that seems to have made them better. But since then, they haven't gotten any worse. Thank the gods. They've only just stayed like this, unfortunately.
And non-contagious.
She sort of looks at you and goes, as far as we're aware, no.
Great.
I mean, you have just gone around and looked at them all square in the face, I did notice. So, if they are contagious...
Just ascertaining information that I need. I'm just ascertaining the information that I need. I'm the expert here, as you have already said, so I'm just bringing in the data that I need to make my...
Oh, are you a healer as well? Would you like to another go?
No, not a healer.
I could make space for you on the floor here if you would rescue Golden.
No, I'm just, I've been around a lot of sick animals. I just see what they got. They're a bit mixy. Got a bit of the myxomatosis, but it's fine.
I feel like seeing Bo take the floor here. Mirden turns to Mabella. No, sorry. The mayor's assistant, Travella.
Travella.
At the risk of sounding ungrateful, why is it that you called us here? Presumably, we are not here to simply witness the misery of these poor souls.
Well, as I've said, we know that the couple of guards are still out there, and we need someone to go out there and hopefully either retrieve them, whether they be dead or alive. And any other information that you can gather while out there, we're asking you not to intervene with these creatures, but if any information that you can gather from them from hopefully a safe distance, we'd be more than grateful.
I mid and look to the others, and What sort of like time? Where is the sun?
It would probably be about midday, I would say.
Yeah, I'll look to the others. Perhaps it would be prudent for us to make haste while the day favours us.
Agreed.
Of course.
What's that, Bo?
You know, we don't gotta rush. We don't gotta rush into anything. We can have a little chat around town, see if anybody knows anything. Like, why just rush in?
Time might be rather of the essence as far as these 2 missing guards are concerned.
She just said they ain't got any worse. So, I don't think they're dying anytime soon.
But
the matron sort of looks at you and kind of goes, I will say that they haven't got any worse, but that's because of our intervention.
Well, you didn't say that, did you, love? You just said they didn't get no worse. So, you gotta give us the information as it comes. We can't just be, miss things out.
We got that, Bo. We got that. Even if you didn't. Bo.
Bearded will sort of like roll his shoulders and then place his hands on his hips. Look at you, square in the eye. Because I can't help but feel that this is probably what you were like when we last teamed up. I'm sorry, are you being paid by the hour?
I just, I just think, don't rush in to anything.
You
got somewhere to be?
Bring.
Exactly, we could go get some snacks.
Oh, I have plenty. I have soup. I'm good to go.
It's not the time for soup, says Lucretia.
I know. I came here on a pretty tight timing. I haven't had any lunch.
I've actually got half of a spicy sandwich in my pack if you want it.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
There you go. She offers it to Bo.
That Vanya sandwich is well travelled.
Yeah, it's very well travelled. Well, he only gave it to me about an hour and a half ago. So.
It's just a little bit soggy.
Only a little.
Travella turns to you, Virgil, and she says, and the reason why I asked you, Virgil, to come and join us, not only for your experience as being a healer, but you know the woods better than most of us anyway. If you do find the guards, they will need urgent care. I was wondering if you would join them, if you would join these explorers out into the field. I understand that what I'm asking is very dangerous, but we need all the help we can get at the moment.
The wilds will provide, as I always say. I would be, delighted probably isn't the word given the circumstance, but I'm always happy to make new friends.
Oh, thank you so much. So, is there anything else that you 5 would like to ask before moving on?
I guess I'm curious, after Virgil's healing spell that he did, and the slight improvement in the patient's condition, like the mayor and the couple of other people, does it seem as if that has slightly restored a little bit of mana, perhaps? Is that what's just happened? Because that would be...
Can we just pump them full of mana?
just come back every day for keep doing it to them until they're all better.
Let's take our time. Let's just come in every day.
It definitely looks like something has returned back to them.
Nice.
That means that
but
their
just
bodies,
a little,
but just a tiny bit,
just a little, not enough. Okay,
no,
that's
to get them back up again. Yeah,
I think Lucretia's quite impressed with Virgil and with his massive owl, and I think she'll sort of come up to
many have said.
She'll say, "Oh, that is some powerful blessings from the Wildheart who have there. I believe if we have you on our team, we'll have nothing to worry about."
Oh, well, it's just a few old tricks I've picked up in my time. You know, I'm always happy to meet another user of the magics.
Oh, well, I'm quite different from you. I get all of mine from books, whereas it looks like you have a powerful friend on your side,
well,
which is
we
always
are.
good to know.
Good buddies, as they say, yes.
Very good, very good. But yeah, that's it from Lucretia. She's happy to set out.
Anything else, or are you quite happy to sort of start making your way out?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
As you start sort of making your way down and out of the infirmary, there's a little sort of like a little coach outside, and it has like a sort of young sprite sort of lift out these sort of traveling packs, and it's obvious that he's been asked to sort of bring you some traveling packs to take with you. Has anyone got their own sort of traveling packs, or would you require anything at all? Any sort of like bedrolls, ropes, things like that?
Comes with the
I mean,
comes with the kit, I think.
Comes with the kit.
I think we should all have things like bedrolls, torches, basic supplies.
Torches. I don't know if I've got a bedroll, actually. I wouldn't mind a bedroll.
I've got basic supplies,
Okay.
bundle, torch and rope.
Cool.
I don't actually have anything specifically like
some camping
assuming
equipment
basic
would be
supplies
quite
is
useful
gonna
if
be
we're going to be
okay,
out there
so-
for a night or two.
Yeah, so he gives you sort of like some basic, each of you some sort of basic camping equipment. The Travella sort of comes along out there, and she says, like, we're hoping that you'll make it back before dark. We're not asking you to obviously stay anywhere past dusk. The creatures out there may be much more dangerous, but hopefully Virgil will be able to guide you, and good luck. Oh, that's all I can say. Good luck, and please bring back those guards. Their families are missing them terribly.
We shall do our very best.
Cool. And she sort of guides you to the outskirts of the town, and the five of you sort of look onto this East Valley forest. From most likely Virgil and maybe Mirrodin as well, what you definitely know is that the East Valley Forest was sort of like the closest that the town actually got to sort of experiencing the eschaton. Like, it just seemed that this town was very lucky and didn't actually experience some of the very, destructive, apocalyptic sort of sides of the eschaton. They may have just felt like an earthquake or something, but the forest definitely did. And it's dense, and it seems to be thick with vines that sort of curl round each of these trees. But you can see that there's been made a very clear sort of pathway that sort of takes you through to the woods. And as the five of you sort of look back on Foulstrum, and Travella sort of looks at you with kind of just like clasping her hands in prayer, the five of you make your way through the forest. The East Valley Woods, as you have been told yourselves, or have you experienced yourselves, is as close to the eschaton as the town of Foulstrum got. The woods are heaving with foliage, with brambles and vines that sort of weave their way through, that have made the forest just a cluster of greenery that is hard to traverse through. The only way that you're able to make it through yourselves is this sort of man-made trail that has been obviously made over the last couple of years. But as the five of you wander deeper into this forest, you can definitely see remnants of the eschaton that happened within this forest. Who would we say is at the front of this team going deeper into the forest?
I imagine Virgil, if he's leading the way. This isn't a part of the forest that he knows intimately as well as he does his section of the forest. But he has been given the job of leading, and so I think he feels like he must.
So Virgil, as someone who did experience the eschaton, what can you see as you travel through that doesn't look correct compared to how the woods, the West Valley woods that you were living in? What doesn't seem right about this forest that you can tell has been a possible aftermath of the eschaton?
I think there are sections of the earth where like rocks seem to have like just shot out of the ground, sort of upwards at strange angles, and then out of the edges, sort of sometimes just sheer vertical edges of those rocks, trees are growing out. Again, at strange angles, like bits of the world have just been kind of put down. They used to be that way, but now they're that way.
Who would you think would be travelling behind Virgil?
Maybe Pally. I feel like I think he's eager to help. So maybe his eagerness to be of use, and I think he felt a little bit like knowing that something was wrong with these men but not being able to help made him feel a bit like, okay, well, I couldn't help with that, but I can help with this. This is something I can help with. So very doggedly behind Virgil.
Could I add that would Pally be feeling any sense of protection towards Virgil, because he knows that obviously the other explorers can look after themselves, but Virgil is in your eyes, despite being a obviously a very talented healer, he is still pretty much a civilian. Do you think Pally would feel any sort of need to be extra protective towards him?
Yeah, probably. I think Pally, I feel like on the road he will introduce himself properly. Fine horizons, friend. My name is Palias Daganda. I'll be helping with the other explorers. Pleasure. That healing was fantastic. I am here to help. So any danger we come across, I'm more than happy to protect you as best I can.
I was going to say, Virgil, how do you feel about hearing that name?
I think he'll look at him for just the slightly frozen smile on his face for a moment, and then slightly uncharacteristically for what you've known of him so far, be like, jolly good. And then he'll just turn around sharpish and keep going.
Okay.
And you'll notice as you're walking that Brother Talon seems to be observing you from high above. Less so the rest of the forest around you, as you would be expecting, but he's looking at you.
I thought you were going to say he's standing on your shoulder, but his whole
head
body is
turns.
facing forward and his head is just turned around.
Just looking.
That's what I thought as well. Okay. Well, Paddy doesn't know what he's done to... I feel like he would sense that something is up, but I don't think he quite understands what
The
he's
vibes
done.
are off.
Yeah,
The vibes are
it's
off.
not great. So Pally is just trying to keep chipper, because he is that little gold retriever boy, and he's like, okay, well, I'm still going to do what I said that I'm going to do, so I'm following behind, keeping an eye.
Cool. Who would be behind Pally?
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't ask Pally. Pally, what do you notice about the forest that shows that it has been ravaged by the eschaton?
I feel like there's a sense that there was kind of cracks in the earth, so different levels. There's like different levels in the woods where it felt like it used to be like a flat, like completely flat, and now like what you could assume to be like, oh, it's just a hill. Like this looks like the earth was torn, so it's like quite jagged woodland escape. Apart from like some of the paths that have obviously been now like trodden through that seem like safe paths at this point. But yeah, the actual forest itself seems a little bit disfigured, as though like bits of it have changed in like level quite dramatically.
So I guess the same to you, Mirden. What do you see in this woods?
It's so the thing that Mirden. The thing that Mirden kind of picks up on isn't sort of like from the forest per se, but it's the sort of like the inverted commas voice in the back of his head that he knows is sort of like the voice of Artiosa, the world spirit that's kind of booned him power. And it's not a voice of words, it's a voice of sort of like sentiment and emotion. And yeah, Artiosa is like it's almost like an ever so slight snarl.
Right.
Like Artiosa doesn't trust something. It's like, you know, when your dog just starts growling at an empty room because it can see ghosts. Yeah, it's that, and then that in turn is then kind of making the hairs on Mirden's neck stand on end, and his like shoulders have risen slightly.
Has Mirden ever experienced this before?
I mean, yes, in more obvious like fight or flight, like scenarios. So, you know, when it is clear what, you know, the threat is that has kind of got Artiosa, like the spirit of Artiosa kind of flared up. But perhaps what doesn't help in this case is that as Mirden looks around, he can see a forest, and all he knows of it is like the stories of what happened, or the story of what happened to the guards that went looking for the entities. But like Mirden can't see what's wrong. He just, yeah, there's a lot of deep sighs and huffs as he just knows something's up.
Something's up. Okay. And who would be behind Mirden?
It's not going to be Bo, so Lucretia.
I do like to think Lucretia prefers to be in the middle of the pack. She knows that she's potentially vulnerable if she brings up the rear, but also she wouldn't be near the front because she's fascinated by everything that she can see around her. She has a particular love of the natural world and learning about it. So I think she's using her staff as a sort of hiking stick and sort of taking it all in. I think the thing the tell for her, I mean, obviously the stuff that Virgil picks up on with the trees at weird orientations and angles, pretty obvious, but also just the foliage more specifically. There's, you know, that there's sort of areas of the forest where the foliage is kind of a different colour than it should be, as if sort of sprays of magic have kind of affected the foliage and the leaves themselves, and sometimes they're bizarre shapes or orientated in weird ways on the different sort of trees and bushes that they're on. So those are the sorts of tells that indicate to Lucretia that this place was scourged by the eschaton.
And I'm guessing that Lucretia finds this much more fascinating than sort of scary in a way.
Oh yes, she obviously realises something pretty bad is afoot, but she's also fascinated to find out more. She has no plans to let herself or her colleagues get mana drained, but she really wants to find out what's doing this.
Cool. And lastly, taking up the rear, what's Bo sort of doing at the rear of the trail?
Just kind of like, just doesn't really want to be here. Kind of want to stay in town a bit longer. Here we are, nobody to talk to. So yeah, he's just kind of like, because I imagine he's walking at the back, and then Lucretia is just kind of like, oh, and then just looking at something, and he's just kind of like waits there, just moves on, and he's like, okay, come on. Then just waits. Yeah, it's a mushroom, and then it's like, okay. And then we just like, okay. So just kind of slowly bringing up the rear, and the just general vibe of the place he doesn't really like. He's from previous life, he's obviously spent some time in a reasonably sort of rural environment. He doesn't like that he can't hear a lot of wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not really a habitat.
Right.
You wouldn't really feel like things are living there. Like, there's not like the buzz of bees and a little bit of bird twitter or anything. It's a bit eerily quiet. Other than the trudge of our steps and the mumbles of Murden. And Pally just so yeah.
Cool. So leading the way, Virgil is taking you down this sort of forest path, and you're taking in your surroundings, taking in whether or not you've been in forests like this before, if you've noticed sort of sights like this before, unsure about certain feelings inside yourselves that are calling for maybe sort of like a little bit more attention, but you're not completely sure why. Let me let me know if you can see all this.
Very good. Very good. Don't worry about the spooky mist at all. It's fine.
Yeah, as the five of you traverse further into these woods, you come across an area where the foliage does seem to give way a bit more, and much how you were saying, Pally, that sort of level of ground is jutting out at sort of irregular sort of areas. It did seem like that once upon a time this is probably just sort of flat land, but now sort of like the hills are jutting out in sort of different ways, feeling just a bit unnatural for how the ground probably was to begin with. It's not on this map, but you do notice that in the center, so if I can do a little bit of a, I thought I could do like a little, can I do like a little bloop bloop bloop? Can I do a little bloop 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 bloop?
Left click hold.
Ooh.
No.
Okay, left click hold. So yeah, sort of around in this area, sort of like on, you can kind of see over this cliff that there is like a small abandoned campsite. There is a fire pit that has been long since used, some trampled tents, and it may very well be that this is where Bravin and the rest of the guards had made camp back a couple of days ago.
How far up is the...
It's literally like about, it's about 5 foot. You can quite easily.
Oh, so I can't see up
can
this.
scramble up.
I just
No, you can't see
anything.
it. You can't see up it, but you can quite easily sort of get over there.
Okay.
Everyone's looking, going, "Oh, there they are." And I'm like, just.
But yeah, there's there are very old footprints, but it's definitely like this campsite it's a couple of days old and no one's been around here for a couple of days.
Okay.
Cool. I give Pally a little tap.
Oh, hello.
Can you give a guy a boost?
Sure. Yeah. I will like lean up, and I'll offer out my
As you
hand.
start leaning, he just jumps onto your back and goes up before you even just.
Thank you for standing on my new pack. Okay. Oh, actually, no. Because I guess my shield's on my back, so you've
Yeah, so you
stepped
got a
on
little
my shield. A little ramp. I was like, big person.
Adorable.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
How are the rest of you getting up? You're just pulling yourselves up?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll do a little scramble.
Bo, offer a hand down to Lucretia.
Oh, thank you, Bo. Very, very gentlemanly. And she takes your hand. Does he actually have any pulling power, or is she doing?
Do you have the
He
strength?
has all the pulling power.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what I'm thinking. Of course he does.
Yeah, he has some strength. He's a warrior. He's just little.
Okay. Oh no, that's fair. I just thought he's so small. It's very small boy. No, she.
Lucretia, so tall.
So Lucretia, really quite tall. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mirden has just strode into the middle of this,
Okay.
like abandoned camp.
As Lucretia's going, now we should really keep our wits. Oh, okay. Yes, Mirden's in there. Very well.
Dan.
Yes.
Sorry, Nate.
Yes.
I was looking at Nate. I called him Dan.
Ooh.
It's begun.
It's just begun. Can I have an ability. I have gifted tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast with my eyes gifted tracker on this campsite?
Yeah, sure. What does that do?
So when you're tracking a specific creature or group of creatures based on signs of their passage, you can spend any number of hope and ask the GM that many questions from the following list. What direction did they go? How long ago did they pass through? What were they doing in this location? And how many of them were there?
Okay. Yeah. How many?
I assume,
how many would you like to ask?
I'll ask the one. If it's kind of a vague enough question, I think, other than the obvious of they were camping here, but what can I see? What happened to them here? Is there signs of a struggle? Is there signs of them being attacked by something, or did they leave the camp?
Cool. Okay. So yeah, spend a hope on the question that you would like to ask.
Then.
So yeah, which one? So basically, you want to.
What were they doing here?
What were they doing? So okay, what were they doing in this location? So you can definitely tell in this location that this was used as sort of like a rest spot, but probably from the tussle of the campsite sort of being a bit of a mess, you can tell that that's probably not been done by animals or the weather or something along that. Like a tussle happened here. You can definitely gauge that from what you can see.
I believe there was a struggle here. I appear at Mirden's shoulders.
In which case, as you say this, Mirden is looking around, like he's looking for. 'Cause you mentioned that there were old footprints, but I'm looking for any prints that don't look like humanoid or don't look like they belong to, say, the guards. Like, are there any kind of animal prints or footprints that aren't like ours? Obviously, also acknowledging that there are keepers, so there might be hoof prints. But
Yes. Roll me an instinct check.
instinct. I will. So, because I'm on the lookout for like what is effectively predators, like predatory threats, I'm going to fire off one of my experiences for a hope. Shepherd of the Flock. So that's a +2. That's a crit, baby!
That is a crit.
I rolled it privately. That is a crit. You'll have to trust me.
I can see it. It's a crit. So you've got a 14. That was nice. That was nice.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
go
So, yeah.
back up to 3, and I am stressless.
You are so it doesn't matter. Pardon me. With a crit, you take a closer look at all these footprints, and you can agree with Virgil that there was a struggle that happened here. Even though how faint these footprints have gone, they are sort of like running around in circles. But as you peer around further on, what surprises you most is that there are no footprints going off in any other directions. There are no, like, they're not traveling back across the path that you just came across. You didn't see any there. You don't see any that are going off in any other directions. They are pretty much central to this spot. Regarding animal prints or hooves or anything along those lines, you don't see anything that gives an indication of like other people, and unless those footprints that you've looked at are of maybe their attackers. But you can kind of tell from from how many there may have been that it was probably with a crit. I will say you can decide that it was just them. With a crit as well, I would say that you, as you said, you can't see any sort of like animal prints. You can't see any other like attacker prints. There is sort of like a weird, there seems to be almost sort of like a weird glittery sort of like ash dusting that just sort of sparkles along certain edges of muddy sort of footprint ridges that you are not aware of ever seeing before.
Okay. If I stoop down to kind of gather some of this dust on the pad of my finger, is it like if I rub it between my finger and thumb, is it like gritty? Does it feel smooth? Does it look like overgrown moth dust? Like,
you rub it between your fingers, and while it doesn't really feel of anything, you almost get this sense of unease with it. Like how, as minimal as it is, you can kind of like almost when you wake up from an uneasy dream, but you can't remember what happened in it. It just made you feel like a little bit like, ugh, just made you feel a little bit grim for the rest of the day. It kind of gives off that feeling of a memory that you can't quite remember, but has made you feel uneasy.
okay. I do what is slowly becoming a characteristically Mirdan gruff huff, as I brush the dust on my thigh. Either whatever attacked them floats or uses the trees, or in fact they just did this to themselves. But based on what Virgil and I have seen, those guards were the only ones here.
is in the camp, is there any items left? So if they were dragged off and went in a hurry or something happened, like, is there any, like, does it look like it was a camp and they literally just, like, is there personal belongings?
Yeah, it kind of looks like that they may have very well just started setting up. So, like, there's only one tent and there's a couple of tent rolls that are still sort of like scattered around but haven't been fully erected. There's a couple of bags hanging around that will have sort of like rope and camp supplies. But besides from that, those are the only things that you find. Sort of like basic camp supplies, a couple of tents, a couple of bed rolls.
Okay. Well, it didn't look like they were here long. They were here, what? Setting up? Why is everything covered in this weird glitter?
Sorry, I'm just going to quickly jump back in. Bo mentioning the glitter spawns another huff, and Mirden's going to grab the stone-like pendant he wears around his neck, and he almost sort of like starts to curl up slightly, and Bo, like right next to you, Mirden suddenly begins growing at a surprising rate until he topples over onto all fours as a giant bear.
Has Bo seen this before?
When did we do our body cop routine?
Said a couple of weeks ago, I think.
A couple of weeks ago.
I'd like to imagine that he didn't use this party trick.
Okay. Yeah. So Bo's just like, Jesus. Wow, no. God. By the
Elsewhere version of Jesus.
I as teats.
Exactly.
Please never say that again.
Yes, so Mirden turns it into a giant bear. The kind of orbiting rune stones continue to sort of like orbit around this large brown bear's form. Up close, Bo, you'll notice that Mirden's right eye is, even in bear form, is still like the runic, like the grey stone eye with the glowing yellow runes. But oddly, on his front left like shoulder, there is almost like a spiral, like miscut. There's a spiral patch in the fur that is a lighter brown than the rest of it. The rest of it is quite like dark brown black, but it's this like almost auburn spiral. Also, I've spent some stress and I have a thing that lets me not maybe care. So just quickly roll that.
I don't want to care about that.
I do care. I do care.
Oh,
so
you care about it.
You do care about that.
I do care about it. So yeah.
No worries.
Stress.
I think the Bo's instinct, I think still Lucretia next to him, is just kind of like puts an arm in front of Lucretia, gets his like whips his gun out like super fast, just like, and then he just goes kind of looking at the bear, and then he kind of notices the eye and is a bit kind of like, wait.
Yeah, Mirden looks at you, and it's odd to see with a bare mouth. You're really going to shoot me?
Well,
that was your plan.
Given me a heads up. Say, hey, buddy, I'm gonna be a bear in a minute. You could have said that.
I think the results speak for themselves. And
I can see you're a bear now.
Mirden's gonna start sniffing because in this form I have advantage on tracking. So I will mooch on over to. It's not just for show. I'm not showboating.
He's a little
Maybe
bit
a
though,
little bit.
isn't he?
A little
He's a
bit.
little bit.
I'm gonna sort of like mooch over to where Virgil is, and then sort of like start helping with any additional tracking or like trying to sniff out this glitter, seeing if it, like how far it goes, where it stops,
Snorting
if there's
it up.
any concentrations. Yeah, I'm cocaine bearing this.
Because he's doing this, just like Bo kind of turns to Lucretia, just like, I didn't know he could do that.
How do you think the talking in bear form thing works? Because the vocal cords aren't right, are they? Fascinating.
If you
World
think
spirits,
so.
not even once.
Is Pally
Virgil,
up with us, or is he still down?
Yeah, I was going to say, are you still
you up
down
with
at the
us?
bottom of this small?
I think I did climb up, and I think
You climbed up.
I think Virgil did say he scrambled up, so he's with.
Yes.
He's up there. So
Yes,
I think I've just been observing. Like I feel like the bear, Bally's just like, oh whoa, just like very impressed, but also could have probably pissed himself because that was a bit that's a bit much. That was a little
It was
bit
a bit much
He was
for
not
all of us,
expecting. Yeah, but obviously he's not gonna. He's just all. At least Bo had the sensibility to be like, well, let me know next time. Bally's just like, he's recovered now. But the initial experience was, whoa. Whoa.
So Mirden, was there anything you wanted to do, or are you just having a good snuffle around?
Well, I mean, I think you've already. Well, yeah, unless. Let's say I'm continuing my snuffles around this sort of like glittery dust. I mean, happy to roll if there's more to learn beyond the crit kind of thing.
No, there's nothing really to learn more from the crit. As the especially sort of like Virgil, what's your sort of reaction to bear form?
Virgil is friends with all the animals. If an animal is going,
bear form.
yes, ooh, hello. If an animal is going to eat him, it is Golden has decided it is his time to go.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
You have to fight Brother Talons for that honor, I think.
Wait, is Brother Talons just waiting for his opportunity to eat Virgil?
Like most pets.
So sticks around.
Well, he
He's
puts
just
up with
biding
so
his
much.
time.
He's put up with so much soup.
One day. So yeah, as bear form Mirden is snuffling around on the ground, and the rest of you are sort of just patrolling this area. There's the fog has thickened definitely while you've traversed longer into the woods, and it does make it sort of like a little bit hard to see. Sort of like probably a good 50 feet in front of you is quite sort of like dense with fog. And the quietness that Bo had mentioned earlier on, with being sort of like no birds, no sort of like movement of foliage besides from the wind, how it feels like nothing really lives here. It startles the five of you when you just suddenly hear this.
Nope.
Sorry, what now, Nathan?
The five of you are just kind of turn around at this unexpected noise of a child laughing.
No. No.
as it echoes.
So we're all getting out of this forest.
Yeah. That Bo's right. We should spend more time in town. Definitely.
Bo was always right. That's gonna be the motto of the entire campaign.
Bo was
right. Hand shot first. Bo was right. What next?
Can we ascertain where the is coming from?
It's quite difficult. It almost sounds like it's echoing everywhere.
But
as the five of you are sort of like turning around trying to gauge where this sound is, you sort of look in one place once, nothing is there. You sort of turn around, and by the time you look in that sort of space again, you just see this sort of shadow of a child sort of standing there.
Oh no.
Hey, little one. Hey, you okay over there? Hey,
Don't talk to it, Bo.
you're saying I shouldn't talk to a child?
It's not a child, Bo. Use your eyes, Bo.
The shadow doesn't seem to sort of respond in any way. It just sort of stands there and it stares at the lot of you. And we'll take a break.
Cool.
If you are watching this, thank you. First of all, thank you for watching this. These get released every Thursday for the foreseeable future, so please do come and join us. If you are a member and you're watching this on regular release, episode 2 should be out now for members if you so inclined. So if you're really excited to see what's going to happen next, why not throw us a couple of quid and go and watch session 2 right now. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you so inclined, why not subscribe to us and keep up to date of when we release these episodes. You can join our Discord. It's free for everyone, but we also have a Patreon where the episodes get released a week early, as so for the YouTube membership as well. I think that's around about it. Probably from session 1 now, we are also playing Draw Steel live on Mondays, which is obviously ran by the wonderful DM Dan, and it's another Tales from Elsewhere. It's completely different characters, and obviously going with the system Draw Steel. That will go on for 5 sort of Mondays, and then we'll carry on to a different system, new games, and Dan will be able to explain it all there. But that is live, and you'll be able to watch it and chat with us and chat, so on and so forth. So yeah. If you're watching way past that, then soz, it's probably up on the channel, and you can still watch it. But yes, thank you for watching. Thank you, Five, for playing. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.